Hey guys, welcome to the Driven Not Given podcast. And in this episode, we have the legend, Mr. Danny Pessy. So let's get into it. Danny, how you doing, brother? How's everything?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. Excited. Things have been going really well for me, man. I've been stressed.
I could tell by the jacket.
Thank you. You know, I just was like, I got this in Argentina, and I wanted to. I wear it for like trainings or conferences or something. So I was like, you know what? Let's bust it out for the podcast. So awesome. First time got this custom made out in Argentina. They had like a bunch of leather factories down in Buenos Aires, and so I saw this in there. I'm like, hey, can you make me one of those? And they're like, sure. And so wrapped it up, and so
nice,
pretty cool.
It's got the
it's ridiculous.
Hell yeah, bro. It's dope. It's got the gold Michael Jackson look going on.
Yeah, you know, except for without the weird side of things, or maybe with the weird side of things, but
right.
It's there. You know, I like to dress up, have a good time. So
hey, so you went to the what's it called, the World Cup?
No, I was in Argentina while they were participating in the World Cup.
Got it.
That was over in Qatar. I was in Buenos Aires for that time. And so it was nuts, bro. Like those people, I've never seen sports fans. You get some people here that like football and basketball. Right. Like, bro, there's 10x craziness down there.
Right.
Absolute pandemonium. They shut down the stores. Big in the parks, they put up inflatable movie screens, and that people out there just watching it and going ham, dude. Screaming, yelling, fighting. Luckily we won, or I would have gotten my ass kicked.
Yeah.
So I don't like anything but basketball, but it was cool to watch the football.
Yeah.
And what they call the soccer, whatever. And dude, it was really, really cool to witness like somebody so passionate about it, and I can see how people really get behind their country in that, and there's a lot of patriotism behind it. And,
big time.
You know, that's something that I missed here in the U.S. is, you know, these we're not as big into that as other countries, so it's pretty cool to see.
That's true. Especially not anymore, right? Lately, it seems like that's dying down more.
Yeah, dude, it's almost like if you're like a huge American, it's almost like, oh, you're a racist.
Right.
Like they're making it seem like a bad thing, but I don't, you know.
And in my opinion, man, it's all by design, brother. But that's another topic for a different type of podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole, bro.
Exactly.
I'm right there with you, dude. I think there's some weird stuff going on.
Yes, indeed. So, how was the food in Argentina, by the way?
No, it was the sausages. Were amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
choripan,
chorizo, like all that, just big fat sausages, like just right in my mouth, man. And it was like the taste of it, like the intricacies of how they make the meat with the flavors. Right. Nothing like it in the United States. Yeah. Steaks were good. Texas still has the best steaks in the world. I've been to every fancy country you can imagine, bought the best meals. Texas still has the best steaks. Huh? But these sausages, something about a quality Argentinian sausage. And then wine, bro. Yeah? I never drink. I don't drink. Yeah. But I went down there, did a wine tasting. I'm like, bro, what the hell is this? It's this Malbec is a grape in Argentina. And, dude, the wine down there was amazing. So got into that. It was so freaking good.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, you travel the world now. You do a whole lot of things, and that's due to business, a type of business, sales. But tell me, your success that we see now, right?
Yeah.
What would you attribute that to? What are 2-3 things you would attribute that to?
Well, it was the sacrifice I made at the beginning of my career to get to where I'm at now. A lot of people want to get to where I'm at without the first part.
Right.
Like I spent my first 14 years living in hotels, traveling around the country, 6 months of the year, 6 days a week, knocking doors for 8 hours. Like literally that's all I did. Like
How many years?
14 years hard.
Wow.
So basically think of it like from preschool, like kindergarten, all the way till 2 years in college, I spent that time knocking doors.
Wow.
And so like at a very high level, tons of sacrifice, managed teams, recruited businesses or recruited offices, became a regional, became a vice president of a company. Wow. So it's like all from doing that over and over and over again, sacrificing parties, sacrificing a lot of stuff to get there. And so basically now I'm at a point where something shifted. Well, number one, it was the solar industry where I could put in the same amount of effort and get 10 times the results and not be as stressed. And then I could start living life a little more. So
nice.
You know, that's what it was. So I really put in that time on the doors and had a phenomenal career, was always the top 1% of the industry. So, you know, it was just something that I got to it and stuck to it. And so
So you got started at what age in door-to-door sales?
18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right
did
out of
too.
high school. Nice.
Yeah. I didn't do it as long as you did, but at 18 I got started. I forgot the name of the company, but we were selling those pizza coupons, buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
You get a free large pizza automatically.
Yeah.
Here in LA, we were selling the Dodger tickets, buy one, get one free, or stuff
sick.
like that.
Yeah.
And we made $10 a pop that we sold. So imagine, I was talking to you off camera. I wish it was like home security systems that I would have got introduced to first. I would have made so much money, especially back then, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were doing security and you were getting $300 or $275 a pop, and you want to sell 100 in the summer, and basically you make 20, 30,000 in the summer and you're set. So that was my goal. I went out and did it my first summer, made 18 grand, and then next summer I went out, made 70,000. Third summer went out, did 110.
Wow.
And then fourth summer made like 350, and that's when like stuff started to click, and then just took off from the races from there. So it took me a couple years to figure it out.
What's interesting is this. See, like my wife and I, we also still sell home security. Our main business is solar, but we still sell home security. So to me, I found it very interesting that some of these companies, like you mentioned, they only did the summer deal, which was weird because a lot of these companies that at least what I know in the home security world, just like solar, we're year round.
Yeah.
So what was the philosophy behind just go ham for 3 months?
Yeah. And so it was basically an RM job. So BYU, Utah, Provo, basically had a summer break from April 18th to August 20th to August 30th.
Right.
So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, all these pest control companies would recruit from BYU return missionaries and get them to go do a summer program, whereas they would go out and work 4 months of the year to make a year's long income. So what they did is they set up their programs to be just like a Mormon mission. And so what they would do is they'd have the meetings every day, they'd go out, canvas, come back, and these guys just got off of a 2-year mission,
right?
And then they would come back and do the same thing. So it was an easy transition for that. And so I got linked up with a group that ran that business model, and those are the ones that really innovated the door-to-door space, the Vivants. So Vivint is like the godfather that started all this, Todd Peterson. And so basically he revolutionized the summer program, and basically now all the big solar companies have all been lineages from Vivint, and have been huge to pay homage to that group. And so I learned directly from them for years, and that's how I got good. I learned business, I learned how to sell, be motivated, all from the RM style job. It's an RM, return missionary program.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I'd be in offices just with all LDS members, and you say one bad word, they yell at you. And so
drink coffee.
Yeah, no coffee.
There's no coffee for closers there.
No, dude, there's no coffee for closers. So
right.
Yeah, it was so strict, and so
wow.
Yeah, they turned my act around, bro. They got my life in order, and very thankful to learn from that model. And now I've taken it, made some adjustments, and found out how to make it sustainable, and that's what I teach now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been sick.
It's interesting you mentioned that. A couple things that come to my mind when you mentioned that. I was listening to a clip of Joe Rogan, and he mentioned how very religious fighters that are very religious, like he's particularly talking about some of the Muslims, right? He was referring to some of the Muslims because they're also, some of them are very, he says they're some of the scariest people in the world because they don't have all of these distractions. They're not out there chasing women, right?
Yeah.
Fighters are these young guys, right? In their 20s and 30s, right? Early to mid 30s. But if they're very religious, they're not smoking, they're not drinking, they're not partying, not chasing girls, etc. He says, and all they got time for is to do their work, which is train. Yep. In your case, you're talking about what do they got time for? They got time to work. And it makes sense that some of the best door knocking companies, sales companies, came out of Utah because they send their boys to missions for what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah. Travel to a different part of the world.
So you imagine they learn a new language too in a couple of months, and they send them to another part of the and all they do when they go on missions, what do they do? 6 days a week?
7. I think it's 7 days, 6 or 7 days a week. Yeah.
Wow,
it's nuts, dude. Yeah, they're very, very committed, and they turn people around like crazy, man. Like, 'cause if you can do a Mormon mission, you can do anything in life. that's really, really hard stuff. So it's,
Oh, heck yeah.
yeah.
So it makes sense that those guys knock it out the park, because I would think that if you come back from a Mormon mission and you go to door-to-door sales, that's easy, man.
Yeah. 100%.
Selling whatever you're selling, whether it's pest control, alarms, solar, that's a lot easier than to try to convert somebody to another religion, right?
Yep, 100%. And so yeah, they get good, man. They learn how to believe in something, and they learn how to spread the word about it. So, they're selling the priesthood, and dude, I've been so thankful for, what I've been able to learn and from those guys, that group. And, it's really put me in a path where now I'm, able to teach what I've learned and make a living off of it. And I still sell here too, though, which is cool. So, but it's just, I think that's been really fun because that works. It changes lives, and I can play a hand in that, because unfortunately there's, the only way to learn that stuff is to go work for a company like that.
Yes.
But not everybody has the luxury of doing it. So, this way you can learn from someone like me who had, their whole life experience and teaching that stuff. And so I figured out what works well, what doesn't work. So that's been something I'm really proud to help people utilize. And so it's been cool.
And as you say, not everybody has the luxury to have experienced that, but also not everybody has the grit to go through it. Because that's a tough bracket. I remember when I was doing that, we used to door knock. We used to get in the office at 9 a.m. We used to do environment and practice pitching till about 11. At 11, we used to go hit the field. We hit the field from 12 to 3, took a 30-minute lunch break, 3:30 to 8. We knocked and we carpooled. So it's like, you got. Then Saturdays, we did the exact same thing, but instead of finishing at 8, we finished at 6.
Yeah.
I see now people that come into the industry that don't come from that, and let's say they want to door knock, but they want to go door knock for 2-3 hours, bro. I'm like,
well, when everyone gets home from work, that's when I want to go to work. You're like, nah, dog.
Right.
It's just that's an excuse because they're afraid of getting rejected.
So let me ask you this, on that same subject. There's a lot of companies that's a lot of guys in these companies, they don't even go 5 days a week, 4 days a week. They might go 2, 3, or 4, right? And these are the more serious ones. How many hours for those people that want to door knock, whether they're doing solar, real estate, alarms, whatever the case may be? How many hours minimum should they be on the field? They want to make a full-time income and be serious and become a professional.
You got to put in at least 40 hours, man. And that's the thing. Like you're going to be doing 6 hours a day minimum until you get good
on the field.
On the field. Like right now, I could probably go out and talk to 3 or 4 people, close one down, but I spent my whole life doing it, and people want to get where I'm at without doing the sacrifice of that. So it's possible to go out at prime time and slam deals, but it's not scalable and it's not sustainable.
Right.
Unless you've done the work that, I've been able to put in there and put all those hours and sacrifice. Not getting married, not having a family. Like I was working. Like I was knocking doors.
Right.
Like, family reunions, parties, sorry, I'm working.
Yeah.
So, now that I'm a little older, I would have made some adjustments on that stuff, but understanding that you have to pay the cost to be the boss. And that cost is with just hours. You cannot be a boss without putting in the sacrifice to get there. You get lucky a couple times, but unfortunately you have to, pay the piper. You pay the piper always pays. And by paying the piper, it's putting in the hours till you get it. You have to put in 30, 40 hours a week in addition to buying leads and networking and marketing that way. So if you can't put in 40 hours, dude, then you're not going to get scalable, sustainable results.
100% I agree with you. And the thing about the 40 hours, for example, is 40 real hours, right? Most people, if they put in 8 hours of work in a day, they really did 2 hours of worth of work. Right, exactly.
Not a lot.
And I tell people, don't confuse productivity with activity. There's activity, then there's being productive. And most people are not productive, right? They're not, like I tell my guys, how many hours are you dedicating to your solar business? I'm going 8 hours. I said 6 of those hours, especially because it's not like you're overwhelmed with leads and follow-ups and appointments. You got to be 6 hours at least on the field, belly to belly, kneecap to kneecap, talking to people, pitching. We call it, I come from the MLM world. We call it showing the plan. Showing the plan basically means presenting, right? So even if you're prospecting, that's a mini presentation. It's how I view it and how I teach it, right? And then the enough mini presentations leads to a full presentation. And so, but you got to be showing the plan. And most people, they're just not doing that.
And one thing too, it's crazy is like the people that have money are usually working during the day. So what I would do is I'd find these small mom and pop shop businesses in the areas that I was working. I'd go and pop in on them and they can't go anywhere. So you can
Right.
go in there and sell them. Like, if you want to find out, like doing business to business, there was a great ways to do that. I remember setting a church up that way. Like one of my biggest accounts I ever sold was this guy that ran a church, and I was just walking around. I saw him. The church had like a small little like office building on the side. I just walked in and I was like, "Hey, man, I know you guys got this company. How it looks like it's old. Who do I talk to?" He's like, "Talk to the pastor." So I talked to the pastor. Pastor was totally cool and set him up. So it's like, if you want it, you'll do it. It's just people are so afraid of rejection. Yep. That's why they don't put in the hours, because you do get busy doing nonsense work.
Yes.
It's like, oh, well, I'm organizing my files. Like, oh, I'm contacting people about leads. None of that stuff pays the bills. You have to be in contact with clients,
yes.
getting them that has an electric bill and getting them to switch over.
Yes. I categorize in 3 things: A activity, B activity, and C activity.
Yeah.
A activity is the prospecting, selling, and presenting.
Yeah.
That's A activity. Then you got the training and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is B activity. It's important, right? You got to attend the training, the office meetings and whatnot, but those office meetings usually an hour or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Right? And then C activity is the stuff like getting your stuff prepared. If you got flyers or whatever the case may be, you should do that after hours.
Yep.
But the bulk of your time, 80% of your time, should be spent in A activity. Mm-hmm. So even for my team, I created what's called an 8-point system.
Okay.
So like every hour on the field is a point. So you got to generate 8 points daily.
There you go.
So every hour on the field is a point, right? You book a presentation, that's 2 points, right? You do a presentation, that's 3 points, right? And this is for part-time people, it's 8 points.
Yeah.
So I say, if you focus on these 8 points and you're part-time, 4 hours a day, because in my company, we attract a lot of people that start doing this part-time, right?
Yeah.
I tell them, look, you
start part-time, you make money, you go full-time.
Exactly. 9 to 5, you work your job. 5 to 9, you work your business, right? And so it's about, I'm all about systems, right?
Yeah.
Create a system that is easily duplicatable by others, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all surrounded by productive stuff.
Yeah.
What are some of the top, 2 or 3 attributes that you would say that it takes for somebody to be a successful door-to-door salesperson?
Well, they're not, you don't find them, they're made.
Okay.
And so I wasn't good, bro. I was so charming and charismatic, but the part that I missed was the work ethic. I was lazy, I was entitled, and I got pissed when people wouldn't purchase. I'm like, bro, why aren't you not buying? So I learned how to get into that routine and learned how to grind. And what ends up happening is you have to push through the learning curve by getting a couple wins early so that you get that seller's high.
Yeah.
And then basically you have belief in yourself that you can do it. Because what happens is people push so hard, and right when they're about to break through, they give up, because it's always darkest before it's light.
Right.
And so it's like these guys give up right when they almost had a deal. And then when they get that deal, it gets them confidence and then pushes them to the next one. And then once you start looking at it as a game and getting these deals and viewing it as a competition, then you start taking off. And so that was like a big thing for me, is my beginning of my career. I was dealing with the emotional side of things. And then when I started leaning into the culture of the company, the culture of the office, and trying to climb up the ranking system, that's when I stopped getting nervous about what a customer said, and I started getting nervous around what my coworkers said.
Right.
Why is he not selling? Why is he not at the top of the office? So it's like I didn't care what the customer said, because the product in this company serviced the clients. So I knew I'd do a good job. Now it's what's my potential? Am I put on this planet to be at the bottom of this list, or am I a top performer?
Right.
And so everywhere else in my life, I was always really good. I was always the best player on my sports teams, always not in academic wise, but I was always really good at sports. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to look at this as a sports thing, and get after it. And so then that's one of the switches that I made to start looking at it as a game. So if you're out door knocking, look at it as a game. All these people are already paying Edison. So it's like whoever they're already paying every month, it's not like they can reject you. They're already a customer.
Right.
Because really you're getting people to spend money. If they're already spending it, then there's nothing to reject.
Yeah.
They just don't understand solar.
That's true.
And so it's like, the only time, like half the time, half these customers got trees on their house. So hypothetically, just give an example, it's like everybody wants it, but sometimes people don't qualify for it. So it's like if your house roof doesn't get any sun, there's no point in getting solar. So even if you wanted it, you wouldn't qualify for it.
Right.
But also, if they wanted it bad enough, people buy shit they don't use all the time.
Yes.
Like I bought this jacket, didn't use it for a few months.
Right.
Like, bro, waste of money. So what?
Yeah.
But people, if they are so bent sold on what you're doing, they'll buy it anyway.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
So you said that they don't have them, but you develop them. So what are those things that somebody needs to develop? A couple attributes that somebody needs to develop to be successful.
Get-to-itness and stick to itness.
Okay.
It's the committing beforehand. You overcome your own objections to commit to figuring out the job.
Nice.
And it's like, don't worry. If you're going to get your ass kicked, it's part of the game. Understand you're going to get a lot of rejection, more rejection in one day than you'll probably get in your entire life.
Yeah.
And so understand that's what's going to happen. You're going to want to give up. You're going to think you're not good enough for this. So when that happens, know that, oh, shoot, I already knew I was going to think I'm not good enough. Keep going.
That's good.
Keep going. And
so manage your own expectations.
Yeah, manage it before. Like, it takes 28 hours of talking to a client about solar to get your first deal on average.
Oh, wow.
So it's 28 hours to lock in your first deal.
I didn't know that.
Of talking
That's
to
awesome.
somebody. That way, that's when you basically have it dialed in, because you get over the rejection. Sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's later, but on average, it's 28 hours for you to fully understand the concept of getting your first deal.
That's awesome.
So if you're virtual, you need to be on Zoom calls for 28 hours. Then after you have that 28-hour law done, it's like, oh, shoot, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
I got it. So 28 appointments, do 28 Zooms.
Right.
It's going to fail. More, boom, boom, boom. Eventually you'll get it. And after that 28 hours, then you'll have a sustainable process that you can continue to do, and those numbers go down. But that's what it takes to get through the learning curve.
That's awesome. I love it. So stick to itness and get to itness.
Get to itness and stick to itness. Yeah.
I tell people, listen, if you stick and stay, you'll get your pay.
Yeah. Stick and stay, make it pay, baby. That's
right.
it.
That's right. And yeah, it's like that picture of that guy that's digging for diamonds, right? And he quits right before. He can't see. It's right before. And that's the case with a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
And there's people with potential. And that's the thing. So I'm sure that you, when you were out there door knocking, you did a lot of times where you had to go to another state or another city far away, right?
Yep.
And I remember I ended up doing that when I was 18. We went to Northern California. I remember one time we went to Modesto.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, and it was like dirt roads, bro, where we were at. And I was like, man, we're not going to sell nothing here. Interestingly enough, we sold more than ever.
Yeah.
Because those people, they were in these areas that they weren't used to getting hit up on.
Yeah.
Right?
Rural.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So guess what?
Get on the sticks.
They were open to us.
They're like, oh, wow.
And
sure.
I didn't want to get off the field. I'm talking, it's already going to be 8 o'clock. We've been knocking since 12. I didn't want to get on the field. We were there for 4 days. We cleaned up.
Yeah, that's it.
And so it's that when you start to get outside of your comfort zone, you start to realize what you're capable of, right? And your environment, your proximity. So I was with a group of 4 people. It was 4 of us carpool. We went out there. We stayed with the manager at the manager's office out in that area.
Okay.
Sometimes we would go on these trips and we'd stay in hotels.
Yeah.
Right? For like a week.
Yep.
We're here for a week. There's nothing to do but work.
That's it.
And that's when you start to, but it helped me. I developed some of that grit in martial arts, right? In karate. I won a world title in karate.
Oh, shit.
And so, so to me, it was like, I remember I tried for a world title, I failed. The next year I tried again, I broke my ankle. So I prepared, all my life for this. Then the third try, I won, right? But it seems like when you fail, it's another year for you to get a crack at it again.
Yeah.
So all that time is, in the beginning, is miserable. Then you start to get the momentum. Same thing with business.
Yep.
And I think that business, Danny, and tell me if you agree, it's a lot about momentum.
Yep.
Right? So let's say, I'm sure if you got a Monday and a Tuesday, you start off with knocking a couple sales out.
Yeah.
The rest of the week feels a lot better, right?
Yep, 100%. And, as you're talking, it's kind of crazy because, people are like, oh, I can't handle door to door. It's like too much for me. And, I don't like it. And it's like, well, the thing is, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, and how you approach this job is going to be how you approach the next opportunity when shit gets tough.
Right.
The reason why people don't like this is because you get so much rejection day one.
Right.
Imagine working at a company for 4 months and then slowly getting a little bit of rejection here and there. And it's like, then you're like, oh shit, well, I really can't do this. You just wasted 4 months.
Yeah.
So here you get it done quick, and that's why so many people don't like it. Whereas if you were to stick to it, and realize, okay, well, when shit gets hard, I'm going to develop a system where I don't quit and give up.
Right.
That's when you can really start making a difference. Because then you do good at this. Then the next thing you do, you're going to get good at it. Because everywhere you go, you're going to have some sort of hold up that's going to prevent your business from growing. And how do you deal with it? Oh, shit, give up. It's too hard. Go to the next thing.
Right.
So it's like if you're watching this, you don't want to go door to door. You do it and then you give up. It's like, well, what happens when you go work at a phone store and you try to get a raise and you don't have enough customers coming in? It took you 4 months to get the same amount of customers it would take you 1 day to go out and knock. You wasted 4 months of your life.
Yes.
Thing is, you can't get time back. You can always get money.
Right.
Money's easy. Time, you cannot get that back.
Yep.
So that's why it's like, I'd rather get all of that rejection reduced into the shortest amount of time frame.
That's good.
So I can develop the skill sets and then spend the rest of my life, get into the paper.
Yes, man. I mean, I got a guy on my team, right? He had been doing door-to-door sales with home security for years, right? He comes into solar, crushes it. Why? Because he paid the price upfront and in full for so many years.
Yeah.
Tell people, listen, man, that dude could go out there and make $20,000 today.
Yeah.
He could go out there and sell 3 solar deals today. Now, granted, that'd be a really good day. He'd have to work all day. But there's a lot of times that dude in one day goes knocking for 4 or 5 hours, comes back with 2 signed contracts. People he didn't know the day before.
Yeah.
You imagine making $7,000, $5,000 to $7,000, maybe $8,000 on 2 deals that you didn't know. Those people you didn't know before. That's a skill set that's worth developing.
Yeah.
My wife is a really good door knocker. She doesn't do it anymore, but you know, when I met her, she used to sell home security door to door. And so in 2018, 2019, long story short, we lost a ton of money. For the first time, I told her, you're gonna have to go back to work. We lost 7 figures, bro. It was bad and a big passive income. It was nasty. Yeah. Worst financial situation in 15 years I've been in. Long story short, I said to her, I'm gonna need you to go back to work. My specific words were to go back on the field.
Yeah, go ahead and get some cash.
She worded up, bro. She says, all right. She went door knocking, bro. She hadn't door knocked in years. Yeah. She came back month 1, $8,000.
Oof.
Home security, $8,000 bro.
Yeah.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Right around that time. And then I was trying to make a new business work with a partner. It didn't work out. And I knew if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna get in a deeper hole. But if it works out, we're gonna make a lot of money. It's gonna be very successful. Yeah. So I took that risk. I said, my wife's holding it down. Yeah. It didn't work out. So I go back to my wife. I said, babe, take me to the ADT office, show me the pitch, and I got to do something in the meantime while I launch my solar business. I was going to start my solar business. So this is now 2019.
Okay.
So we go and I shadow her. She teaches me the pitch along with the other office. I shadow her. She shows me a sale 30 minutes into it. Yeah. ADT sale. 30 minutes into it, shows me a sale. I'm like, oh shit. The kid has a little karate bag, a punching bag outside, and he says he does karate. So I'm teaching him stuff while she's signing the contract. That's what I heard the pitch. So like 2 days later on a Saturday, so I shadowed her all day. The next day I shadowed her half the day, and I said, I'm ready to go. So I go by myself, and I don't close the deal that day, right? So the next day is a Saturday morning. She was supposed to go, but we couldn't get a babysitter. I said, don't worry about it. I'll go by myself. And I guess when people are door knocking, they're kind of, some areas they like, some other areas they don't like. Some areas that they feel are hit too much, they don't hit. Yeah. And this is what she told me, right? And so I don't know that. Yeah. And this point that I'm making goes to show that sometimes not knowing is good. Yeah. So I just drive and I said, I'm gonna just find any area I find into that seems like I could stay at for a long time, I'll knock. So I park and I look at the street and I say to myself, out of all of these homes, there's somebody needs what I've got, and I'm gonna find that person.
Yeah, 100%.
And I go, boom. So I go for like 6 hours. And I end up signing up my first ADT deal right there. Right?
There you go.
Boom, right? I called her. I didn't even know how to sign the contract, bro. Yeah. But I told them, we got a new system. I need them to walk me through this new system, right? Yeah. Long story short, I get the deal. And eventually I sold a bunch of home security, right? Yeah. But the point is, and she tells me, you got a deal in that area? I say, yeah. She says, most people, they won't even hit that area because it's been hit so much. People think there's no deals there. Yeah. I said, I got that deal because I didn't know any better. I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah. So your mindset going in, if you go into that and saying that area sucks or whatever the case may be sucks, your results are going to suck probably too. Yeah. Right? So anyways, that's just, I know that door-to-door sales, me and my wife have door-to-door sales experience. I had never sold ADT till then. Yeah. But I knew there's somebody out there that's bound to need what you want. Yeah. And if you get the training and you practice and you apply it and you're consistent with it, it's inevitable. You're going to win.
Yeah, you'll find it out. And what I'm hearing you say is, it doesn't matter the product. You had that skill set and you applied the same techniques you learned from a previous job towards this. It works. And so that's the thing is this job is going to help you dial in those skill sets so much faster because this marketplace is going to show you in real time what you need to do to fix your situation, whether it's your attitude, whether it's your hours or your approach. Like by getting so much rejection, it's going to literally mold you so much faster into a successful business person with the right mindset so that once you get this rejection this fast, such a short amount of time, the next thing that you do, you're going to be already leaps and bounds ahead because you already have the mindset.
Yes.
And my recommendation and what I'd always do is if I had rookies, I'd go put them in the lowest income area possible to let them start, because you're not going to get a lot of customers that qualify, but they're going to get a chance to get their presentation out, and they're also going to get a chance to walk through an entire process, and it's going to build their confidence up.
That's good.
In higher income areas, people, are getting solicited more, so their buyer's guards are higher, and they have stronger techniques to tell you no, which then equate to rejection hurting even more. So when you go into the lower income, they're not worried about getting solicited, because what are they going to get? What are they going to buy? All their money is gone every month to overhead. And so basically,
and their ego isn't as big either.
And their egos are not as big. So they're cool. They're some of the nicest people in the world. And, it's a great chance for you to practice your presentation and get your flow dialed in. And then once you get a couple deals, your skill set goes up, then you can start moving up the income ladder in neighborhoods.
Makes sense.
So that was my trick.
So you're one of the best to do it, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion. And you've also seen some incredible door-to-door sales specialists. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Kenny Brooks?
Kenny's amazing. And dude, there's a lot of people better than me. They're just not teaching it. And they're not coaches. So the best ever door-to-door salesman is Adam Shantz, for sure. He's by far the best that's ever done any of it. He owns Alder Security. So he's a friend of mine. He's incredible. He's God's gift to just incredibly talented salesman. Kenny's very, very talented. But Adam for sure is by far one of the best, the best of all time in history, door-to-door.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so he was insane. So he would set, my best year was 456. His best year was 1,200.
Wow.
So he just did
1,200 what? What do you say?
Alarm accounts, security.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, dude, he's nuts. So, and he'd go out and sell 200 in a week. So, yeah, he just
How?
Him, Josh Sutherland, that's another guy, the owner of Titanium.
Yeah.
Him and Adam Shantz are definitely the top guys ever to knock doors. Adam's a little bit more polished with his sales technique, but both of them just have that relentless work ethic where just I was hearing a story Josh was telling me. He was in a hotel room and he was going out to blitz. It was 7 a.m. The key wasn't working. He left the room, went to his car, and then realized he left his binder in the hotel room, and the key wasn't working, and the person wasn't there. So he called the hotel. He's like, "Hey, I need to get my key open." Hey, they're going to be there in an hour. They'll get you a new key then. So he kicks down his door, grabs his binder, goes out to the area. He sold 117 in a week. So
damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just it's that
wow.
That pushingness gets it there. So in terms of the best, those guys are definitely way up there.
Some people are just cut from a different cloth, bro.
Yep, 100%.
Most people are looking for a way out.
Yeah.
That dude's looking for a way in.
Yeah, because the money's made by talking to clients, not just bullshitting.
Most people are looking for a reason not to go on the field. Oh man, my stuff is stuck right there. I mean, what can I do?
Yeah,
right?
Just go get breakfast, come back later.
Right.
How easy is that decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great question to ask yourself. How easy is that decision?
Yep. 100%.
For example, one of the things I would ask myself is in my industry, again, I come from the MLM world, and I would ask myself, the top people in that industry, right? What would so-and-so do in this position?
Yeah.
Right? Well, they certainly wouldn't do what I'm trying, what's crossing my mind to do.
Yeah.
They'd go out there and prospect. They'd show the plan. They'd make more calls, right? And so I love that story, man.
Yeah. What I've found over the years, what ends up happening, what's the hardest thing to do is not to get out of your car and knock and get your first deal of the day. One of the hardest things is after you've already sold a ton and you still have time on the clock.
Right.
And you're like, shit, dude, I just sold 4 or 5 of these. I could be good for the day and check out.
Yes.
Or keep pushing. Oh, I got my one deal. Now I'm going to go home and celebrate early.
Right.
It's that's the part that makes the average rep to the advanced rep is after your deal gets sold, what do you do?
Yes.
And after your third deal gets sold, what do you do? Fourth deal. My best day, I sold 9 doors, 9 customers, 9 alarms in one day. That was my best day. 27 alarms in a week. And so, it's just bro, it's so hard to keep working after you've already just crushed your self-limiting beliefs of what you're capable of doing. So that's not a lot of places people get to, but that's even harder than getting out and talking to strangers, warming up.
It's Joe Frazier said a quote. He says, it's hard to wake up at 4 a.m. and go running when you're waking up in silk sheets.
Yeah.
So he says that towards fighters, right? Once they get rich, it's hard to have the same discipline. Same thing.
Yeah.
Once for the day, you've made great money for the day, call it a day. It reminds me of when I was knocking my wife. You know, it used to, you know, with the daylight savings, it used to get dark by 5.
Yeah.
Around the time that her and I were doing this. So I said, look, we have to get our son, because my mother-in-law could only take care of him till 5, right? Till like 5:30. I said, so we got to hit the field till 5. So let's go hit businesses.
Yeah.
Let's find a solution, right? Yeah, we could go to residential, but let's go to businesses because we know we're going to run into more people. So we took this real busy street in East LA, all Whittier.
Yeah.
I sold to a bunch of businesses on Whittier, home security systems, bro. So
we get their shop and their house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going there and we're knocking, and she gets a deal, and I'm at 2 deals, and it's 3 o'clock, right? And we went from we said we're gonna go from 10 to 5.
Yeah.
We're gonna go 10 a.m. to 5. We're gonna go at breakfast. They're gonna go 10 to 5.
Yeah.
So it's 3 o'clock. She's got a deal. I got 2, right? So we already made, you know, pretty good money for the day. And she says to me, "Hey, do you want to go home?" I said, "No."
Yeah.
I said, "We're going at 5, which is early."
Yeah.
But we're going to 5. She says, I mean, we made some good money today and we could go and, you know, tell my mom to go home early. I said, no, we got her till 5.
Yeah.
And you and I committed to each other that I said, if you want to go home, you could go home.
Yeah.
But I'm going to knock till 5 because that's a promise I told myself.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I don't end up with any other deals.
Yeah.
But that's my identity. I'm that dude that does what he said he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
And so she kind of rolls her eyes a little bit, but she wore it up. She didn't take it over, and we kept knocking. We didn't get no more deals that day. We got some leads, but no deals.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, though.
It's
about you say you're going to do this. And most people don't commit to other people.
Yeah.
They'll break their commitments to other people, but even to themselves, they break their commitments to themselves even more.
Yeah, that's what starts seeding that self-limiting beliefs is if you can't even follow through on commitments for yourself, that's going to hurt your self-esteem. And you know, that's crazy because, you know, I tell my guys that too as well. After you get a couple deals, you know, well, you're on fire right now and you're warmed up. What about those days where you suck and you're not in it?
Right.
But you quit early when you were in it. So now you're at a net negative. So, you know, you got to ride the seller's high. And, you know, I tell people it's like there's the sales gods and the sales gods are watching you. And if you quit early or you're not all in or you're fooling around, they're going to punish you. Yes. But if you put in the work, you make the sacrifices, you're going to get rewarded. And so that's what I looked at. Every morning I woke up at the same time. Every bed I went to the same time. I had the meeting every single time. For 6 months straight, we had the meeting every single day at the same time. I was late one time ever. Wow. And I tell people every summer I'll always have one time I was being late. I got pulled over. So the cop made me late because I made myself late because I was speeding and being a jackass instead of getting there 10 minutes early. So that's the thing. So you make that commitment, and every summer I knew I trusted myself to be on time. I went to bed, so I was in such a disciplined routine that I had the best results. And I ran one of the biggest teams in the country, sold a shiz ton of accounts, and had great results. So it was crazy.
Tell me about the transition that you did from alarms to solar.
So I started setting solar leads in 2016 with Vivint Solar and Vivint Security. We tried to have a partnership in 2016 with the two companies. I was over the LA office at the time, and basically I would team up with some of the solar offices, and I'd go sell solar accounts and sell security accounts. The solar rep would come and sell them solar. So I started that in 2016. I had a couple deals, not a ton. And then I was like, oh, shoot, this works. Get a couple $1,000 as passive income. Cool. So I started closing a couple of those deals. And then the higher ups got into a fight about overrides and they shut the whole program down. Oh, wow. I'm like, this sucks. So then the next year in 2017, I go to South Carolina for my summer program. I meet up with Jory Sullivan, who was the top guy on the East Coast for Legacy. And so then I say, hey, Jory, follow me around. And then me and him closed a bunch of deals that summer. So I was like, okay, cool, this works.
Solar deals.
Yeah. So I sold security. He'd come in and close the alarm. I sold the security. He'd come in and close the solar. Got it. So we had a couple of deals like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then 2019 came around. I was in a market that didn't have solar. So I was in Michigan at that time. No solar then. And then 2020 came around. And then I was in LA. And then I started setting probably 20 solar leads that closed. So I had a good amount. Nice. And then my downline did 300 installs. And so that was a fun little transition. Then 2021 came and I'm like, okay, well, the alarm thing tanked. I'm going to go all in on solar. So I went for 6 months. I went all in on solar. Went out, lived in a hotel, and went knocking for a few weeks straight and figured out how to sell it. And then I used the same techniques that I did with alarms into solar, and then got a huge learning curve that you can't sell security like solar like you sell security.
Right.
So then I made a couple adjustments. I was getting coached by my good friend Taylor McCarthy. We were running a consulting group.
Right.
And so I made a couple little adjustments to get the accounts to stick. And then I moved a couple things around in the presentation I'd mastered for 16 years into solar, and it worked like a charm.
Really?
And then installs after installs, taught companies, and then basically that method has been vastly implemented by multiple companies, and their results have been taken off. So It's kind of like the Elon Musk coming into the solar industry, or Elon Musk coming into the car industry and innovating.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was great. So had a ton of results, and went really, really well. And then I started making ridiculous money on solar and bought my first house, bought my rental properties, and then just started dumping into my personal education. And then since then, life's taken off, and it's been incredible. Like I was making $200-300 grand a year doing security at a top level. Yeah. And then when solar came around, it's been, $2-3 mil plus. So it's been great. Not where I want to be, but it's definitely better after 15 years of just getting my ass kicked in security to have passive income so you can actually breathe and do something cool with your life.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so that was that's what ended up happening. I've been doing it. Now I don't, obviously I'm running a business now, so I don't sell as much solar as I used to. I'm not in the field as much. I still do 2 or 3 deals a month.
Sure.
So, 5-10K extra here or there.
Yeah.
So that helps take care of, my Uber Eats bill, but
right.
That's that's the thing. So it's been fun.
That's awesome, man. You mentioned that in 2021 the alarm home security tanked. Why
2020.
Why is that? 2020.
Yeah, because basically what ended up happening is all these companies were chasing each other's contracts. So the lifespan of these alarm customers went from an average of 8 years down to like 5-4.
Oh.
So people were buying out these 5-year contracts 4 years into it, sometimes 3 years into it.
Got it.
And so then the banks are like, bro, we're not getting any return on our money because these accounts are trading at such a high level.
Wow.
And so we don't value them as much, so we're not going to loan you as much money. And so the multiples dived drastically. I was in a model where it wasn't a multiple model. It was a RMR business. So I was getting 50% of whatever RMR that was collected from my company, from my sales and my team's downlines. And so I was up to about $700,000 a month just from what my personal teams collected. And I was hoping a bank would come in there and purchase them for a multiple. But the debt on those was about a 28x. And I wanted to sell for a 50 to 60x. But unfortunately, the debt on the accounts was right around what the purchase price was.
Damn.
So my $5, $10, $15 million paycheck just disappeared.
Shit.
I was like, damn, dog. No one bought them. They weren't worth anything. No one wanted the accounts. And yeah, bro, it was brutal.
Wow. What company was that through?
Titanium.
Got it.
Yep. So Titanium Security, that was one I went to after I left Vivint. Crushed it, opened up 5 offices, had a bunch of guys selling, and then just, the market.
Are they still in business?
Yeah, they're still in business.
Yeah. Security?
Security. They collect the RMR, but no one wants to buy it. So it's nice, make $1 million a month on the RMR.
Oh, so they're they
collect
get
it. They collect it, and then my deal was if they sold it, I would get 50%.
Got it.
But they didn't say there's no one to purchase it. Like same thing with Alder. Alder's model was the same exact way. No one purchases it. So now people are waiting for that big paycheck. Nothing ever comes because no one's going to buy it.
So you're mentioning these companies, right? Titanium and Alder. What about companies like, let's say, ADT or Vivint?
They don't work off that model. They work off of a multiple model.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. In retrospect, like the safer model is the multiple. The riskier long-term play was the residual model.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if no one buys it, then you don't make any money. And so, there's nothing wrong with Titanium or Alder. They're both good companies, but it's just no banks are willing to spend 50, 60x like they used to back in the day. Vivint got purchased in 2009, I think, for a 72 multiple.
Damn.
And then to Blackstone on a 55 multiple in 2012. So those same customers are just getting flipped by private equity. And dude, they were cranking. And then Security Network sold to Brinks in 2013 for like a ridiculous multiple. I think it was like a 52 multiple. And then we were all like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
But then banks saw that what was happening and they're like, dude, we're not paying anything. We'll give you the 28 multiple for what you got. That covers your debt. You don't make any money.
Wow.
So yeah, dude, it sucks. ADT is always going to be fine. Vivint's always like the big dogs. Vivint, ADT, Brinks. That's all the big ones that are in the BAME anymore.
So, if coming from a salesperson's perspective, right, it seems to me like it would make more sense to sell for a more recognized brand.
No, the customers don't care.
They don't care?
No, don't care. Dude, I could sell a customer anything. They don't care.
Yeah.
They believe they're buying you and what you're doing. Like it's not as big as you think. And all the companies contract out to the same group anyway. It's the only thing the only thing that's actually ADT is the letters ADT. They've been bought and sold multiple times. Their monitoring centers have changed hands, by different investors and stuff like that. The ownership is switched. So really, the people that built the brand ADT don't even work there anymore.
Got it.
So it's just it's just like a process that they purchased.
Understood.
And so yeah, I mean. It helps. I mean, now ADT uses alarm.com. ADT used to have their own Pulse app. They switched it all into alarm.com now, and they're selling alarm.com panels. ADT used to be vertically integrated. Now they're integrated with alarm.com, which is a third-party platform that utilizes the controls from your phone, the smart home technology. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, everyone sells the same stuff now.
Interesting.
It's all, except for Vivint. Vivint is truly integrated, but ADT, Brinks, everyone sells the same stuff except for Vivint.
Got it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So obviously solar, this is where the money is right now. Solar.
Yeah, because right now, like the government wants solar. The government didn't want solar. So you just got to get behind something that like people, like the marketplace wants.
Yeah.
So security is a fight to get. People only get security when they get broken into or they move into their home.
True.
No one's like actively looking for a security system. So unfortunately, you're talking to people or someone knocks on their door and talks them into it.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like, solar, they're continuing to raise people's prices so they get squeezed into it. And so it's like, that's good. We want that.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, people don't. People only are going to get solar when they just realize their bills keep double or tripling and they keep going up and up and up. And then eventually they get solar to solve the problem. Right. And so with what's really I like about it is the government wants everyone to go green, the Green New Deal.
Yep.
Biden spent $400 billion on a law to get people to do this. So we have their backing, the state's backing, like everything's backing this up, except for Gavin Newsom, who passed NEM 3.0 in California, which blows my mind that is even a situation. It's the corruption is insane. But the fact is you just got to find a industry that is on the way up. And so that's, it was tough for me to leave alarms, but solar just makes sense. And
so what comes second to solar?
Door-to-door wise or just sales in general?
Door-to-door wise and sales in general.
Door-to-door now, I mean, you still make good money in alarms. Pest control is still a big popular one. It's just you sell volume and it's a volume play. It's not like a one or two big commissions. But yeah, and then roofs. Roofs, I'd say, is probably number 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the insurance companies pay for it.
Well, that's true. Well, so I mean, roofs though. I mean, shit, that goes hand in hand with solar. We recruit a ton of roof people.
Yeah, so roofers need that, and so because what's happening now in the roofing industry is insurance companies aren't approving as much storm damage as they used to.
Yeah.
And so now you can wrap that roof that you sold them into a solar loan and then replace their utility bill. So it's a no-brainer, but roofers are tough because they're so used to getting money from insurance, not the customers. So it's like there's this whole scared thing that they don't want to get it from the customers now. They'd rather try to finagle the insurance company. That's why you don't see a mass adoption of roofers, because it takes a little finesse to get money from customers than it does to finesse an insurance company.
Makes sense.
And I'd wish the roofers did more. I've taught people how to do it. I've consulted roofing companies, but that just they know what they know, and it's hard for them to innovate.
Got it.
It's difficult.
Where do you see the solar industry going in the next 2 decades?
I think it's still going to be here. It's just going to be different. Regulations are coming in. Sunrun's pushing hard for regulations. Biggest out of all the groups. It's not like the utility companies. Sunrun is actually the ones that are pushing hardest for regulations, which is crazy. You'd think the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm in, I can't really name my sources because I, you know, sign NDAs with a lot of people, but yeah, it's crazy that that's what's going on right now. Sunrun's pushing.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they want to push out the competition. And, you know, I think that because they want to be here long term, if they get a bad reputation in the space, it hurts them more because they're public. So you get a bunch of guys selling loans that screw over customers, that's going to hurt their image too. And it could hurt the longevity of it, because once it becomes an issue where you get a bad reputation, it's harder to sell it. So that's my personal opinion. And then commissions are going to start being done. It's because it's happening like the same thing with the mortgage agents, where mortgage agents back in the day were just ripping people off like crazy on mortgages. And so now I think that that's basically what's going to happen in the future of solar, unless we start getting more involved and regulating ourselves. So this is the golden goose, because you get guys that'll come in and just scam customers. They don't care because they want it. They're so freaked out.
Unfortunately,
they're like, they have no money. So if like they can get 10K, they'll lie and cheat a customer to like get that done. There's nothing stopping it.
Yeah,
and it's
I guess companies could audit the contracts more, right? They can do a better job.
Yeah, they can, but they're so slammed. So what's happening now is a lot of these EPCs are getting chargeback from the finance companies.
Yeah.
So that $40,000 loan that they signed, they're now charging that back to the installer, and the installer made what, $2-3 grand on it. So where's their margin to pay that back? The sales rep quit. Yeah. The sales dealer, they're not giving up their overrides.
Right.
So those guys are gone. EPCs are going out of business every day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Couple chargeback because these shitty sales reps sell bad deals. Chargeback city, boom, hit, SOL.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, even right now we're seeing some changes, right? Mosaic just announced they're not paying M1s, right?
And M1s are going to be gone.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think from with the people in the boards that I sit on, M1s are not going to be, they're going to be a thing of the past.
Really? Interesting.
So I don't see them long.
You don't think they make exceptions for certain companies?
Some companies they will.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they have a good relationship, the companies that work with multiple installers and bounce around with different financing companies, like those guys won't get a play. Right. But the ones that like have a good relationship with a bank, they will get certain exceptions.
Got it.
So
makes sense. So switching gears, there's a lot of money. Well, before I get into that, I got two more questions for you. Number one is net metering 3.0. Here we're here in California. What are your thoughts on net metering 3.0? There's some people that are like scared of it. I mean, I close a lot of LADWP business anyways.
They're not even affected.
They're not affected, right? All the utilities except for Edison in this area are not affected. But even when that comes in, I just sold a deal last week with a backup battery, right? Yeah. So what are your thoughts on NEM 3.0?
It would be fine. Yeah, I think people are hyping it up to get urgency done, which I agree. Customers do need to get some stuff done, because the sad part is like customers just, they don't want to deal with it. And unfortunately, if you've got the tactics to get them to do it now, like bless your heart, but it's people, unfortunately, as a society, are going to have to get their bills to be $1,000 a month before they do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why the utility rates are going to keep going up.
Yep.
And, the government wants them to go solar, so they're going to squeeze them out. And unfortunately, people are going to have to learn the hard way. Like people are like the sheep. Unfortunately, they're going to have to continue to get pushed to slaughter before they're like, oh, shoot, maybe we should do something with this. And the talented sales reps can bring up the argument, hey, this is going to happen. We need to do this now. But most people just aren't going to do it. And
most people are procrastinators.
Yeah, procrastinating.
A lot of people, they know they should, but they procrastinate, because most people procrastinate through life.
Yeah.
For those people that may not know, you keep saying that the governments want it. Why do the governments want it?
Well, they're spending tax credit on it. I mean, dude, if the government didn't want it, they'd fine you for it.
Right.
It's like they don't want you driving 150 miles an hour in a school zone.
Right.
So if you go 150 in a school zone, you're going to get pulled over. They're going to suspend your license. You're going to go to jail. So that's activities they don't want. Yeah. If you do stuff they do want, they reward you for it with tax credits.
It's also the grid, right? The grid can't hold it.
And the grid can't. And the thing is it's just the grid's 130 years old, and all of the wood that's on there that holds up all the wires is at age 30 to 35 years. And the average lifespan of those wood that hold up the poles for the wires is about 30 to 40 years. So right now, that's going to all shift. And that cost is going to be passed on to the client.
Wow.
So customers don't know that. They don't care. They got to get back to the Kardashians. So you need to explain this stuff.
Right.
Like, bro, who do you think's going to pay for it? It's called the grid hardening. Grid hardening is they're going to switch from wood into concrete or some sort of metal to hold up. They just did it behind my house.
Oh, really?
So it's like all of those wood poles are going to shift because what happens is in a storm, those break down and fall.
Yep.
You got to get someone out. Now, if it's hard, they're going to get someone like a concrete one. No, that's not going to fall. So it costs less than service, but there's an upfront expense that's going to be passed on to the customer. That's going to be spread out over 10, 15 percentage increases.
Wow.
Like even if solar is more expensive than what they currently got in California, like if you were to just max out the PPW and sell a huge deal, make the most commission, and it's more expensive, next year it's going to go up 15%. Edison. Yep. Next year after that, another 15%. I see Edison raising their rates 15, 20% for the next 10 years.
Yes, me too.
Easily.
That's crazy, bro.
You got to explain that to the customer so they see it. And these people aren't dumb. They're not sheep. I just get frustrated sometimes. Yeah. It's just your job as a professional to get that point across in a way that they can diagnose it. Because so many reps are so lazy. All they think they need to do is go in there and drop the price and get them to cut their bill in half.
Right.
But what they're really selling is a hedge against inflation. And that's why it's so important to train and learn techniques so you can properly get your point across. Because if you're here just to make easy money, when the payments aren't 50% off, and you're having to raise people's price to go solar, what are you going to do? Go find a different job?
Right.
Or learn how to sell it?
Yes.
So that's why I do this training is I teach people how to do that. When I was in security, I never lowered prices. I always raised them 30 to 40%. So if you use the same techniques that I used over there towards solar, they work. And that's why it's important to learn that stuff instead of just being lazy and just trying to get the hot trends.
Yes.
It's like, okay, cool. Well, now I'm going to open up a hookah shop. Right. Oh shit, hookah's done. Now we're going to vapes. All right, let's open up a vape shop.
Right.
Shit, it's cookies, crumble. Let's open up a crumble franchise. Oh, now it's a acai bowl. Let's go open up an acai bowl. Like, bro, all you're doing is just bouncing trend to trend. Learn how to fucking sell.
Right.
Like, stop being lazy. Yep. Pay the price. Turn down the Netflix. Put on a training platform. Watch it, learn it, and spend some money on it.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
It's like the trainings you got coming up this weekend, as a matter of fact, right?
This freaking weekend, Saturday, Sunday, man.
So this is going to air Monday. Okay. So that one will be gone, but what are the other events?
Too, so your audience won't even make it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I've got people in other places. So, and this is on the internet. So, what are some of the other events that you've got coming up?
Yeah, guys, with education, the most powerful transformational is in person. The second is on video. So you don't get as much if you're not there in person because there's energy. I'm a really big believer in energy work. And when you're there in person, proximity and energy being poured into you from like a master is very, very different. You ever get and do a meditation with a Zen master, you can feel something different about them. And so that's why in person is very, very important. Zoom is second. And so basically I have an event coming up in Phoenix, Dallas, Orlando, Denver, and Salt Lake City. So if you're not in those markets, it would be a very, very good idea to make the investment to go down there and do it. Because, I could do a big virtual one, I might in the future, but I really want to teach people this. Right. I make good money selling solar still and running my business, but I really do want to teach people something. And I know part of the process is immersion and being there in person. Yes. It's one thing when you're on a training in the Zoom and then you go out of that room and your kids are crying and you got to go take care of them. But if you're at a hotel and you're around other solarpreneurs, it's like, damn, dude, this is possible. So something shifts in that. And I'm such a firm believer that going to these conferences help. And I priced it at $300. So it's not like that expensive.
Yeah.
The only reason I charge is because I want people to value it. Because I found that if you give something out for free, no one gives a shit.
True.
But if they pay something, they'll get something out of it. So it's all part of the learning technique. Yep. And if you really are committed to learning it, I spend $2,000 on the executive ticket and get at the front room and sit with the best guys. And that way you can actually really get your value out of it. Because the more that you spend, the more you pay attention to it.
Yes.
I dropped $150,000 on coaching this last year.
Wow.
How much detail and attention do you think I pay when I go to learn from those guys?
Yeah, big time.
So, that's what I say. So
I'm going to link your events and your website on the description so people will see it, because I'm a firm believer of, again, coming from network marketing, we're all about personal development and investing in yourself. We have conventions we go to, we fly to, and we not only that, we get a bunch. I tell people in events like this, you got to own as much real estate as possible. Yeah. Every seat, every chair is a piece of real estate. Mm-hmm. So imagine somebody takes 10 of their salespeople to one of your trainings.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to their business, right? It isn't about just showing up. you got to raise the bar, show up with your sales organization there.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, man, I mean, I do an event, as you know, you were a speaker last year.
Dude. And I better be there again next year.
Yeah. Bro, we're thinking of doing July, bro, so I'm going to talk to you after this.
Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a great group. You got a good group of folks.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're very blessed. Last question for you, bro. In this industry, a lot of money is made. But I don't think that most people are very smart with that money. Yeah. They don't even save, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them don't save the money for taxes, much less invest. So when somebody starts making the money, Danny, what is some advice, some tips that you could give them on, hey, you made the money, pay your taxes, and then do something smart with your money?
So if you're watching this and you're in solar, if you're not making at least $500,000 a year in selling solar or managing a team, that means that there's information that you don't have. Otherwise, if you had it, you'd be making that source of income.
Yes. So
the situation is if you are making that money and you're not at 500,000, take whatever you have and invest it back into your education. You got to spend money to get more knowledge so that you can make 500 grand. Yes. Go to seminars, buy programs, spend it on coaching, do everything. Get to SolarCon, get to Door-to-Door Con, go to all these conferences, because then once you get 500K that you're making a year, then you can start putting into real estate where you start getting nice returns.
Yes.
So once you have that income, then you can start buying properties. Like there's house hacking, where if you're watching this and you've got like 150,000 saved up hypothetically, and you're already making the $500,000 a year, take that, buy a fourplex. You can do a single person doing that. So that's a really good method where you only have to put 3.5% down on a property and own 4 of it, and then charge the rest rent. What else? You can buy into a syndicate. So basically, instead of dealing with all that crap, you just give it to somebody and you get a 5, 10, 15% return on your money. So there's that. And then what else? Crypto. I think crypto's at a cheap price right now. Yep. I know it's going to come back up. So that's a great play. So those are my big. I'm into real estate. I'm into crypto. I buy a lot of silver. So silver is a big thing that I got. And obviously I buy a lot of gold.
Yeah.
So
things that God ain't making more of.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then, real estate. That's what I'd say, man, is, partner up. If you don't have a lot of cash, you can team up with 3 or 4 people and all chip in on a single property, make the down payment, and then you guys are all 0.25% owners of it. Because real estate right now is going to be at an all-time low.
Yes.
Not all-time, but it's going to be at a lower price than in 2 to 3 years, because the market's going to adjust as America. So, if you buy it now, you can sell it in 2 to 3 years and you're going to get appraisal. Like I bought my house during COVID, and it was at a discounted rate. It's 10,000 square lots, like 1,000 square foot home. I got it for $630. Now it's worth $800. Wow. So I made $170,000 in 12, 15 months.
Nice.
In equity. So it's like,
that's awesome.
That's how housing works. So just keep doing that stuff. And if you don't have the cash, spend more money on coaching. And if you don't have $300, take out a credit card and start there and get your ass on the line.
Yes.
And start investing it. If you don't got 10K, put on a credit card. Go to a weekend seminar, spend the money, and then watch what happens to your results once you're that committed to doing it. So it's like, what comes first? Make the money and then spending on coaching, or spend it on coaching and then make the money?
Right.
So many people wait for the money and then they spend on coaching. It's like, that doesn't work that way, bro. It doesn't work that way.
That's a sacrifice. Part of the sacrifice.
Yeah. If you're a family, let's say hypothetically your son needed a pill to survive, and it was $1 million, would you figure out a way to pay for it? 100%. I don't know if your son or daughter, but. Or, I'm as an example, like you'd figure it out. If you were that belief system that your loved one depended on you, you'd figure it out. But if you're not willing to do the same thing for yourself, what does that tell your subconscious mind?
Right.
You're not worth it. You're a loser. You spend this money, you're not going to get it back because you can't go and sell.
Right.
That's it. You're done. You're going to end up always working for someone else.
I agree with you. For me, it's crypto, real estate, silver, and gold, right?
Yeah,
things that God is not making any more of that, right? And so, but you got to go out there and make the money. You got to invest in yourself. So we're talking about investments. The first investment, as you're mentioning, is investing in yourself. Right? And then that'll help you go out there and become more valuable to attract more money into your life. Then be smart with that money that you make, right? And so, I think so too. In solar, $500,000 at least is what you should be making. If not, you're doing something wrong. There's something missing.
You don't get it. You got to get new knowledge. If you had the knowledge, you'd have the money. You don't have the knowledge. No one's going to give it to you. So go spend the money to get it. And even if they did give it to you, you're not going to pay attention to it, because if you don't pay for it, you don't pay attention.
Right.
So you can go on YouTube and figure all of this out. And the thing is, if you're watching this, it's already there. And if you did have that method down, you'd have already watched the YouTube and you've already gotten the money. Yeah. But you haven't. That's right. So the missing key is put some skin in the game and go spend some money. Doesn't have to be with me. I don't care. But once you get good, you'll start realizing you need to spend a lot. And, I have a partial service that does that. But, I mean, in general, you're going to need to spend a lot of money to get freaking better. And so that's what I'd say. You're either going to pay the cost with the coach, or you're going to pay the cost in the marketplace.
I love it.
Because the real cost, if you're watching this, the real cost is when a customer tells you no, and you walk away from the house and you calculate how much commission you would have made if he said yes. If you could have said 2 or 3 things to switch that to a yes and made you that $5K, the real money is made with the customers telling you no. Or the real money lost. So that's where the real expense is. How many people that told you no, if you could have turned one of them around, is it worth it?
Right. Makes sense. Love it. Thank you so much, bro, for coming on the podcast. Drop some tremendous value, man, as always, man.
Thank you.
So hey, I think we just committed right now to Mentor Factory 2023.
I'll be there, baby.
My man, let's do it. My team's going to be happy to hear that, bro.
Yeah,
thank you very much,
you're
bro.
You're close, bro. You're in LA, so I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One last question. I know I said last question last time, but this really is the last question. How can people connect with you, bro? How can people find you?
Hey, great question. DannyPessy.com or Danny Pessy on Instagram. Pretty simple, pretty easy. TikTok, Twitter, everything. I don't tweet, but all those, that's where you can find it. I specialize in solar consulting training. I've got an online virtual training platform. If you need more one-on-one help, I have a team of one-on-one coaches that can help consult you and teach you how to do the game. Anything that you need, my website has a lot of my services on there. So I have virtual selling assistants, slicks, cards that I just coming out with. So nice. I haven't announced this yet, but I actually have a new deck of cards coming out that are all of the solar, everything you need to know to sell more solar and overcome objections. And I've got a new set of slicks that basically help sales reps sell more solar.
Awesome, bro. My man, again, thank you very much, brother.
Appreciate you.
All right. As always bring you guys value. Make sure you guys follow Danny. His information is in the description. And with that being said, I'll see you guys at the top or from the top. Take care.